Good afternoon. My name is Judge Esparza. Today is Tuesday, April the 9th. We have some writ hearings scheduled for this afternoon. We do not have a court reporter present. If you are requesting a court reporter, your case will be reset for a later date. Can you have the attorneys turn on their cameras, please? How many are you present? As indicated, we do not have a court reporter. If you're requesting a court reporter, your case will be reset for a later date. Not having any objections or hearing any objections, we will proceed as such. We'll be calling the cases as they logged onto the screen earlier. So it's not any preference. It's just as you logged on. The first case I'm going to call is C1392-24-L, State of Texas versus Aaron Joseph Villarreal. Mr. Villarreal, you speak English, sir? Yes, sir. Mr. Villarreal is present in the courtroom. He is English speaking. Mr. Davila, this is your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, my client has been in jail since March 23rd. So it's about 2.5 to 3 weeks. He does have a substantial amount of bonds. He does have one count for 70,000, another for 60, another for 20, and then 5 and 5. Your Honor, we would just ask that the court reduce his bond, allow him to be able to get out of jail while we fight this case. These are drug cases. They're all going to require extensive testing. If he cannot bond out, he will be in jail for a very long time before he can fight the case. He does maintain his innocence. The bonds are not meant to be an instrument of oppression. I do not believe there's any evidence that he would not show up to court or that he would be a danger to society while he is out on bond.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm okay with a bond reduction on these cases. I was going to suggest that we cut these bonds in half, all of his bonds. So there was still like, I'm sorry. Thing is, I do. There is a prior TDC trip, but I was going to suggest that we was one of the passengers, but I was going to suggest that we cut the bonds in half on each count, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I would ask that it be just a little bit more than that. I don't think that my client would be able to afford to get out of jail if there's just cut in half. I believe he would be willing to accept conditions that the court may be able to impose in order to be able to be out on bond while he's waiting for these cases to get indicted.
Okay. Raise your right hand, sir. Try to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your name, please.
Aaron Joseph Villarreal.
How old are you, sir?
I'm 4 years old.
Where were you born?
Hereford, Texas, Desmond County.
How long have you lived in Hidalgo County?
My whole life, since about the age of a year old.
What city do you currently live in?
I live in Edinburgh, Texas.
Who do you live with?
My mother, Martha Morales.
You have a job, sir? You can put your hand down.
I'm going with an issue with right now with my identity because I've been a victim of identity theft. So I've been going through ID to regain my identification, and I'm going to Social Security Administration office to get a job because I can't get my birth certificate or Social Security at the moment. If you can help me, but I'm close to being in the progress of getting that my identification, and I have been putting applications. I'm on to establish my parole and everything.
Last time you went to TDC was back in 2007, right?
Yes, sir.
Is that when you were released?
So that was the last time I went to TDC from Hidalgo County.
When were you released?
From that, on that sentence, 2010.
Did you do time somewhere else?
Yes.
In another state?
No, in Texas.
When was that?
2015 and then 2022. I'm currently on parole right now.
Federal or state? What county?
Dallas County and Potter and Randall County. The the part of Randall County where, ran CC, I served my 6 years, finished my parole, and I picked up a 3-year sentence for unauthorized use, which was back in 2022, and I got 13 months left on parole as we speak. I don't have no blue warrant or nothing. My parole officer came to visit me and told me that once I get out of jail, she just give the reporting instructions, and she knows that I'm doing real well.
He's got a possession of marijuana under 2 ounces. Bond will be reduced to $2,500 PR. There's a possession of controlled substance, Class B. Bond will be reduced to $2,500 PR.
Yeah, so it goes.
There's a man delivering less than 28 grams. Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. There's another man delivering. Bond is currently set at $60,000. Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. And the other one set at $70,000. Bond will be reduced to $10,000 cash surety. A total of $20,000 cash surety there, Mr. Davila.
Yes.
Also going to
thank you.
order random UAs through probation. Probation will contact you, sir, to go in and get drug tested. If you don't show up, you're going to be back over here in Orange. If you show up and you're positive for alcohol or drugs, you'll be back in Orange. You understand that? All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Davila. The next case I'm going to call is C1411-24-I, State of Texas versus Norberto Damian Gonzalez. Speak English, Mr. Gonzalez?
Sure.
Mr. Gonzalez is present in the courtroom. He is English speaking. Mr. Salinas, there you are. This is your motion, sir. You may proceed.
Good afternoon, Judge. Judge, I'm here this afternoon, Judge. I have not received any probable cause on this case. I'm not sure if the state is making a recommendation regarding our request for a bond reduction. The defendant is currently held on 4 bonds, 4 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Each bond is set by the Farm Municipal Court at $100,000 cash surety. The total is $400,000. The defendant was currently out on bond, Judge, on some additional charges. His bondsman surrendered the bonds on those. Those bonds total $60,000 cash surety. So that really puts him at $460,000 cash surety that he's at this moment. He's been in jail for approximately 18 days. He's a United States citizen. My understanding is that he's never been convicted of a felony. He's got felonies pending, but I don't believe he's ever been convicted of a felony in this state or in any other state. He is presumed innocent, and he's asking the court for a bond that is commensurate, Judge, with something that he could make. He's willing to abide by any of the conditions that the court would impose on him, stay away from the alleged victims, house arrest, drug patch, whatever the court feels is necessary to allow the defendant to remain out on bond. But he is asking for a bond that is not oppressive, Judge, something that is realistic for a 20-year-old. He just turned 20. So we're asking the court to consider reducing the bond, but I'm not sure if the state has a recommendation in this case. Judge, we did request a copy of the probable cause from the Farm Municipal Court, but it has not been provided to us. So we're not sure what the facts are, but my understanding is my client is completely denying these facts or the allegations.
Okay. Annalise?
Judge, my concern on this case is definitely that this defendant has cases from 2021 where he's pending, like it's indicted and it's pending. He has another case from a different date of May of 2021, also a violent type offense that is pending. Then he was still carrying a weapon on a different date on 2023 and drugs from 2023 on multiple different offense dates, and was out on bond on some addition, like on all these cases when he picked this up. So this was a very violent kind of case where people felt threatened. There was children, so I'm concerned about the safety of the community and really just about the defendant's ability to appear or be present if he's here out on bond and just picking up additional cases.
Judge, I will tell the court that, you know, I post attorney signature bonds. I'll post the bonds on him. I have no problems in him appearing in court. I don't believe he's a flight risk. He has little or no connection to Mexico. He's a United States citizen, born here, ain't going anywhere, Judge. His mom is in my office. And I assure you, Judge, if the court were to reduce the bond to an amount that he could make, I'll be willing to get him out, Judge. I trust him. I don't think he's going to run. I don't think he's a flight risk. And if the court puts him on house arrest, he'll stay home, put him on a drug patch, whatever the court imposes, he'll do it, Judge.
My concern, Mr. Salinas, is not so much that he's gonna run, but his behavior over the last couple of years. He continues to pick up felonies and running around with weapons, allegedly threatening people. My concern is the safety of the community, not so much that he's gonna run, but the threat to the rest of the community. You know, he's got 2 charges already, one pending, an aggravated assault where back from, as the state indicated, from 2021, where he was in possession of a firearm, out on bond, and here he is again, same type of transaction with a firearm. That's my concern, not so much that he's gonna run. And I've known you for a long time, Mr. Salinas, and I know you will make sure your clients attend court. My concern is more for the safety of the community, more so than it is that he'll show up at a court date.
Well, I'm not asking for a pure bond, Judge. I'm just asking for a bond that this defendant could make. I mean, he's looking just without these 4 charges. He's got 60,000 he's going to have to make plus these 4. So if the court could consider reducing them to an amount that maybe he could hopefully go back and try to get out, you know, if he could. I told the family maybe they could go see the bondsman that got him out the first time, and maybe they could get some kind of credit for that because they don't have a lot of money. So, but if you could consider reducing it, Judge, I don't know if a weapon was recovered. I don't know if a weapon was used. I didn't get a copy of the probable cause. I'm kind of blindsided by this hearing because I don't know what they're saying. I don't know what the allegations are.
Would you like some more time?
No, Judge. I mean, I want to get him out, you know. I want
Well,
to get
you
him
can
out. if I
reset it
can.
and I can send you the probable cause statement. I don't think you requested it from me, right?
I requested it from the Farm Municipal Court. They sat on it.
Right, but I'm saying I have it. I can send it to you.
Was a weapon recovered? I guess that's my question.
There were weapons involved. We don't have the full report of everything, so I don't know what we have the, initial complaint, which does not provide all the information, so we can reset that if that's the issue. But the issue is that he has different cases from multiple different dates and keeps picking up additional violent offenses.
Well, Judge, are you inclined to want to reduce his bond for this defendant? I mean, it had to be something that, look, the total amount, Judge, I'm asking if you could reduce it to 5,000 cash or surety on each count.
Raise your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name, please.
Roberto Gonzalez.
A little louder.
Roberto Gonzalez.
How old are you, sir?
20
20 years old?
Yes, sir.
Graduate from high school, sir? Put your hand up.
I just go.
Did you graduate? My question is, do you have a job?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
In up north WRIT, sir.
Is that out of Hidalgo County here in Texas, or where's that at?
In Melissa.
How long have you been working there?
I've been working. Apenas Apenas-
Working there or not working there?
apenas voy a trabajar, sir.
So you're not working there. Okay. Do you have a job was my question.
No, Your Honor.
Have you worked, when was the last time you worked?
Like,
You've never worked. You didn't graduate from high school, right? You never worked. And you don't have a job right now, correct? Where were you born, sir?
in Texas
Who do you live with?
with my mom.
What city do you live in?
Or Texas, Your Honor.
You know, they have any weapons at their home, Mr. Salinas?
I'm sorry, Judge, I couldn't understand you.
Do you know if they have any weapons at their home?
No, sir, there are no weapons, Judge, and my understanding was that there were no weapons that were recovered in this incident.
But there were weapons used in the incident, in the
My
officer,
understanding is they were
Yes.
not. We're disputing that.
right? There are multiple witnesses that identified that there
It's my
was rifles
understanding is
pointed at
that
them.
My understanding is the alleged victim in this case robbed my client's family. And my client went to confront him about that. That's my understanding, but without a weapon.
Right, I mean, we're not disputing the facts of this case now, just more our concern about him being out on bond.
Best I can do, Mr. Salinas, is I can cut them in half. I can't go any more than that.
If you cut, Judge, I'll need a probable cause hearing with the witnesses, and I mean, if you could give me a quick hearing on this, I get a hearing today, but I mean, cutting him in half, he's not gonna get out. You know, that's 200,000. Nobody has that kind of money. He didn't murder anybody, Judge. You know, it's, not a capital murder case, unrealistic. It's not a fair amount.
It's, as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Salinas, I'm concerned about the safety. He's got 4 felonies pending. One is an aggravated assault charge with a deadly weapon, where there was a weapon involved back in 2021. And the allegations are that there was a weapon involved in this case too. You're entitled to a probable cause hearing. We can reset this matter for a later date. My staff will contact your office and give you a hearing date.
Judge, how does cutting it in half protect the community if he can still bond out on 200,000? I mean, I don't understand it,
Well, we're gonna ask for additional conditions, random UAs, put a curfew on him. That's my concern.
So
Are you asking for a probable cause hearing?
I'm sorry?
Are you asking for a probable cause hearing?
Well, my writ asked for a probable cause hearing.
And well, we can reset
You
it for a probable
should have
cause
been
hearing.
set for a probable cause hearing today.
Okay, well, I asked you earlier if you were ready to proceed. You said yes. Are
Well,
you
it's not
ready to
my
proceed?
witness, Judge. It's not my witness. The state has to produce the witnesses.
Well, my understanding, it was just set for a bond reduction. We can reset it for a later date for a probable cause. My staff will contact your office and the state. How much time is the state gonna need to get witnesses together?
Judge, I'm not here next week, but we could set it the following week.
So you'll be out the 15th through the 19th.
Yes, Your Honor.
We can do April the 25th.
Yes, Judge.
at 2 p.m. Case will be reset for that date for probable cause hearing and bond reduction on April the 25th at 2 p.m. via Zoom. We'll send out a notice later this week. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Salinas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case we're gonna call is C1482-24-F, State of Texas versus Luis Mondragon. Mr. No hablas inglés, ¿verdad?
Good afternoon,
Mr.
Judge.
Mondragon is present in the courtroom. He does not speak English, Mr. Reyes. I'll ask that you go slowly so that Mr. Alanis from the court will do the translation.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge Samuel Reyes for the defendant, Your Honor. This is our request for a bond reduction. Mr. Mondragon is a 28-year-old Mexican national. He's got about 2 weeks in jail, Your Honor. He has no criminal history. And he, to my knowledge, Judge, he's never had any run-ins with the law that I'm aware of. He does have 2 uncles that live in the United States, Antonio Mondragon and Hector Mondragon. He also has 2 children, ages 9 and 3. He has a 9-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son with autism. And he was employed doing electrical work and plumbing, Judge. He is indigent at this time, Judge. He did qualify for court-appointed counsel. I've been appointed on this case, and I've spoken with one of his uncles and his mother and father and sister. They do not have any money, Judge. They don't have any money to help him to bond out. My client is charged with murder. I reviewed the probable cause statement. Someone allegedly saw my client get into the backseat of a vehicle, but there's no allegation that he had a gun or that he ever fired a gun or that he's ever had a gun or any other evidence that he's associated with any other criminal activity. To my knowledge, Judge, the current bond is $1 million. That's excessive, Your Honor. It'd be impossible for him to make that. That ends up being a punishment on him, Judge. We're asking the court to set a fair bond in this case, given the evidence that we have, which is not a lot. I think connecting my client to this, also the fact that he's indigent and there'll be no way for him to make bond, Judge. I believe the court can set conditions that he would be able to live here in the United States with his uncle until he is able to answer these charges, which he maintains his innocence on this charge, Your Honor. And of course, you know, he's innocent until proven guilty, Judge. We're asking for the court to set a $5,000 cash or surety bond in this matter.
You understand he has an ICE hold, Mr. Reyes? Are you aware of that?
I'm aware that he's a Mexican national, Judge. I know that he does have family here in the United States.
There is an immigration detainer placed on, though. It was placed on there on March 28th, just so you're aware.
Thank you, Judge.
Yep. State?
Judge, due to the nature of the charges and the fact that he has an ICE hold, we'd be opposed to a bond reduction. He's definitely a flight risk. And especially facing these types of charges, Your Honor. So based on that and to assure his availability and for him to appear in court, Your Honor, we'd be opposed to a bond reduction.
Well, I do agree with some of your assessment, Mr. Reyes, of the facts as laid out in the probable cause statement. I am concerned that, one, he does have an ICE hold and it is a very serious charge. I can cut it in half, but I realize that's not gonna do him any good anyway.
Well, Judge, anything will help, Your Honor. If he's not able to make whatever bond the court sets, I mean, we'll keep trying. I know that in this case, I have not requested a probable cause hearing. However, I'm inclined to do so.
I'll cut it in half for right now. 500,000 cash surety.
We appreciate that, Your Honor.
Does Mr. Alanis make sure that Mr. Mondragon understands he has an immigration detainer on his case? So if he was to make bond, there's a very high likelihood that he would be deported. You understand that? Yes. Okay. His bond, regardless, will be reduced to $500,000 cash surety.
We appreciate that, Your Honor. Judge, that's all we have this afternoon. May we be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next case we're gonna call is E1475-24-I, State of Texas versus Eric Gonzalez. You speak English, Mr. Gonzalez? You prefer Spanish? Okay, Mr. Gonzalez is present in the courtroom. He says he prefers Spanish language. Mr. Alanis, would you do the translation? David Cantu, this is your motion, sir. All I ask is that you go slowly so that we have an opportunity to translate. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. David Cantu representing Mr. Eric Gonzalez, asking the court to consider a bond reduction. Currently, his bond is set at $50,000 cash or surety for the allegation of smuggling of persons. He's been in jail since March 14th. As of today, I believe that's 31 days in jail. He is 19 years old. He is not a U.S. citizen. However, the last I checked, he did not have a ICE hold. He lives here in McAllen, I believe, with his girlfriend, Miss Peña. I have spoken to her several times. We maintain communication. She says that she is 6 months pregnant with the child of Mr. Gonzalez. She works at a car dealership. And so we're asking for a bond reduction, Your Honor. I am court appointed. He has been found to be indigent. And Ms. Peña said that she can get together maybe $1,000 to bond out her common law spouse, basically, Your Honor. He has no prior criminal history.
Okay, State?
Judge, my concern is that although he does not have an ICE hold, he does have prior federal alien inadmissibility charges, or actually kind of pending. It's from January of 2024. So I don't know exactly what happened with that, just from what I can see that was reported. So I'd be concerned that he is going to get deported, or he's going to pick up that ICE charge, that there's something federal pending. So based on that, Your Honor, I would not be recommending a reduction, but I'll leave it to the discretion of the court.
Okay. Raise your right hand, sir. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
State your name.
Eric Gonzalez,
How old are you, Mr. Gonzalez?
18,
What city do you currently live in?
Texas.
How long have you lived there? In McAllen?
A year now.
You have a job, sir?
Yes, well, I cut hair in my
A
house.
little louder.
I cut hair in my house. I'm a barber.
You have family here in Hidalgo County? Do you have family here in Hidalgo County?
Ah, bueno, sí, yeah. Yes.
Your parents live in Hidalgo County? You have brothers or sisters that live in Hidalgo County?
No.
Annalise, did you read the PC statement? There was a sentence, a note in there that they did a facial recognition. And it actually shows that this individual is Efren Torres Luna,
Let's see that.
about halfway down. I'm not sure what. State your name again, sir.
Eric Gonzalez.
Have you ever used the name Efren Torres Luna? Do you know who Efren Torres Luna is? I'm not sure why it has that in there.
Oh, I did see that. Let me see what the TCIC and NCIC says. Well, like in identification, it does have that as an AKA.
It does?
Because it's Eric Gonzalez Torres. Is that your, oh, I don't know if someone's asking that. Eric Gonzalez Torres, Eric Gonzalez, Efren Torres Luna, AKA.
Okay.
It has it on the TCIC, NCIC.
Okay, that's where it came from.
Mhm.
All right. Bond is currently set at 50,000. Bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. Sir, if you do make bond, you need to stay in contact with your attorney. You will have to show up at the courthouse at a later date to take care of this case. Do you understand that? Anything else, Mr. Cantu?
No, Your Honor, that's all. May be excused.
Yes, sir. You have a seat, sir. Good luck to you. Next case we're gonna call is C-1476-24-A, State of Texas versus Griselda Olmeda. Is that correct? You speak English?
Yes,
She is English speaking. Mr. Cantia, this is your motion. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Olmeda is a citizen. She's not a flight risk, Your Honor. These are nonviolent offenses. They're drug related. She's already had, County Court 6 already gave her PR bonds on the misdemeanor charges. We're requesting PR bonds on these. She doesn't have a job. She has a child. She's not working. She is indigent. I'm being court appointed, Your Honor. And like I said, these are nonviolent offenses. They're drug related. They're just respectfully requesting if the court could grant her a PR bond. Like I said, she does have a child right now. I believe he's about 12 years old, if I'm not mistaken, Your Honor. And so we just respectfully would request if the court would grant her PR bonds on these. I believe she has 2 charges with $20,000 each.
State.
Judge, I was recommending a reduction to $5,000 cash surety on each. She does have some prior like arrests here and out of Cameron, misdemeanors and felony charges where she initially absconded and then took care of that
Okay.
out of Cameron
Raise your
County.
right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? State your name.
it's a little
How old are you, Miss Olmeda?
43.
43?
Yes,
What city do you live in?
Arlington, Texas.
Where were you born?
Arlington, Texas.
Lived there all your life?
Yes.
You have a job?
No, I don't at the moment, but I babysit my daughter's grandbabies sometimes. And I was about to leave to Montana, Billings, Montana, the day I got arrested. The night before, I was supposed to leave to Billings, Montana.
You understand that if, because you have these cases pending, I'm not gonna allow you to leave the county or the state. You need to stay here and you need to take care of these matters. You understand that? Also gonna order random UAs through probation.
Yes.
They'll contact you. You need to go in and get tested. If you don't show up, you're gonna be back here in Orange. No drugs, no alcohol while you're out. Do you understand? Bond on the tampering charge will be reduced to $5,000 PR. On the possession charge, bond will be reduced to $5,000 PR. Make sure you can get out, you stay in contact with your attorney, babe. You understand that?
Yes, thank you.
If you don't show up for court, you're gonna end up back in jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Cantu?
That's all I have, Your Honor. Baby excused.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Next case we're gonna call is C 1454-24-J, State of Texas versus Frank Herrera Jr. Mr. Herrera, you speak English, sir?
Yes, sir.
Present in the courtroom, he is English speaking. Felonies. Give me just a minute, sir.
Yes, sir.
Can you get a hold of him? He's the last one. Okay, I'm sorry. No, this is your motion. You may proceed, sir.
Yes, Judge. So Mr. Herrera, Your Honor, has a total of 5 cases before this honorable court, Judge. 3 possession of controlled substance charges, 1 unlawful possession of a firearm, and 1 unlawful possession of metal body armor. Total, his bonds at this point in time with the felonies, total of $220,000, Your Honor. He has been in custody since the 13th of March, and he is a U.S. citizen, Your Honor. He does live in the FAR area. We are asking the court if they would consider reducing the bond. If at this point in time they could at least reduce the bonds to $10,000 cash surety on the charges that he has before the court. The state's position, Your Honor, in conferring with them is that they're opposed to any bond reduction.
10,000 on each one, Mr.
Yes, Your
Ramos?
Honor. Yes, sir.
And Judge, he is out on bond currently for multiple drug offenses from May of 2023. He's got a prior trip to TDC for 10 years for an aggravated robbery. He has cases also, so he has just cases from 2022, cases from 2023, from these dates, different dates pending an intake. So he's just picking up serious offenses, and including like he's out on bond for a felon in possession of a firearm, which is concerning because he's just got recently sentenced to an aggravated robbery for 10 years TDC. And he has other multiple felony offenses, Judge.
Judge, I think the aggravated robbery, he was sentenced back in 07, and I think he did do his time already on that offense.
That he'll be charged out of the 389th. Do you represent him on that?
Yes, Your Honor. I represent him on his cases that are currently pending already. Yes, sir.
What's the charge on the 1633?
Your Honor, on 1633-23H, it's count 1 is unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon, and count 2 is possession of a controlled substance.
Raise your right hand, sir. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. State your name, please.
Frank Herrera Jr.
You can put your hand up. Where were you born, Mr. Herrera?
I was born in Texas,
How old are you?
42, sir.
You have a job, sir?
Yes, sir.
Where you work?
I'm a cook in Patio Cafe, Hidalgo, Texas.
Where?
In Patio Cafe in Hidalgo, Texas.
Near the border?
Yes, sir. Hidalgo,
How long have you been working there?
about 2 years
What city do you currently live in?
in Far Texas, sir.
Who do you live with?
My mother, sir.
You got a court setting this month, correct, Mr. Ned?
Yes, sir.
1633 charge, right? Next week or this week.
We go ahead and table it to April 25th.
Yes.
Is that
I think
correct,
the, I think the felony, Your Honor, if I'm not mistaken, is set on the 25th of this month. And the misdemeanor
That's right.
was set, I think the felony, if I'm not mistaken, just is April 25th.
Okay. If you make bonds, sir, I'm gonna order random UAs through probation. You go in and get drug tested, come back dirty, you're back in orange. You understand that? You don't show up, you're back in orange. No drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, no problem, officer. Thank you.
On the unlawful possession of body armor, bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. On the unlawful possession of a firearm, bond will be reduced to $5,000 cash surety. On the LCS charge, penalty group 1-1, well, let's see, they're all the same, aren't they?
Well, Judge, I think there's one less than 4 grams, and then the other 2 counts are the 4 gram, more than 4 grams.
Well, they're all set at 60, right? I'll reduce each one of those to $5,000 cash surety, each one. That'll be a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 25,000.
Yes, sir.
Stay out of trouble, sir. You've got court in 2 weeks. Not going in the right direction. You need to straighten out. Anything else?
Nothing further, Judge. Maybe excuse.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza.
Thank you.
You can have a seat, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Annalise, we've got one case left. Did anybody answer?
Yes, it was the system. They said they're gonna try to contact him, but he wasn't there at the moment.
Okay. Juan Jose Polanco,
Yes, sir.
you speak English, sir? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Polanco is present in the courtroom. This is C 1079-24-E, State of Texas versus Juan Jose Polanco. He is English speaking. His attorney is Victor Bustos. We sent out notice. We tried contacting his office right now. It's now 2:45 and he is not logged on.
Okay, Judge.
So we're gonna go ahead and we'll contact his office and we'll reset this matter for a later date. See if he's gonna know
Okay,
what happened, but we try and reset it for a later date.
thank you, Judge.
I would suggest you wait till your attorney's present, sir. That's all we have this afternoon. Annalise, thank you very much for your help.
Thank you.
You can have a seat, sir.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.